Hi, my name is Victor. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to create this particular fashion web banner using your Corel Draw 2020. Now, if you can recall, I've done a tutorial on something like this before, but it was a flyer. But now I'm creating a web banner. This one you can also print it if you wish to. You can print it and put in your shop as an advert. So in today's tutorial, I will just walk you through this simple design, and using the same information that I used in the last tutorial. So let me go over to the new page by clicking on the plus sign, and the size I'm using, this particular paper size, is 711 by 400 pixel. If you want to start it, you can come over to your welcome screen and go over to your new document. Then you input it here, your width as 711, your height 400, and you can change your dimension here by as pixels. You leave it as 300 resolution and RGB, because we are not printing this, we just want to create it for our screen. But if you are printing this particular design, then you can switch over to CMYK. And once you are done inputting that, you can still put your name. Once you are done, you click on OK. But because I have my design already, so let me just go over to this new page and start the design. So the first thing is you double tap on this rectangular tool to create an outline, that is a workspace for you to work on. Then because I used this particular color for my last design, that is why it's showing here. So what you do is you just come over to this place and tap on it, and it will remove the color. Then you can also remove your outline, but for this it's none. So the next thing you do is go over to your color. I'm using my ruby red. So for my ruby red now, I just bring in my background, because this design is too plain, so I just want something to be at the background. So let me bring in the background I want to use. So this is just a clothes white fabric, so I drag it in, drag it inside my design. Okay, so I want this particular place to be up because of how the wavy nature goes. So what I'll do is I mirror it like this and come like this, so that it will be somewhere here. Then I right click and click on my power clip is inside, click on your edits, and just edit it like this. Just make sure it's full the page. Okay, something like this. So once you are done, this is how it will be. How it is now, it's covering the color. So what you do is you tap on it and come over to your transparency. You can transparent it to reduce the opacity, but for this, let me come over to my normal and come over to texturize. So once I click on texturize, see that it's giving me that wavy sign inside, and my color still remains. The next thing I'll do is okay, let me just play inside of it. I can just bring in my circle like this. Once you are creating a perfect circle, you press your control down while you drag. So for this, let me put an outline so that I would see what I'm doing and remove the color. Okay, so let me leave it like this. Okay, so you can just duplicate this, duplicate it there. You see, as I'm putting everything in one edge, you duplicate like this. So once you left click, you drag it and when you get to the point you want, you just right click for it to place it there. Then you come over to your smart field, and I'm sorry, let me just bring this out here. Because of the background color, because of the background there, that is why it's cutting the image. So once I'm done, once I'm done, I just group them. I just press my shift while I tap on everything, then I return it back to where it was. Then I can now delete all the circle. So for this, let me just put in my color. So for this now, I don't want it to just be ordinary ruby red, so I want to mix it with my orange. So what I'll do is I come over to my interactive field, or you press G on your keyboard, then I drag it like this. It's white because this place is white, so what you do is you drag in your orange color. This is the orange. I drag it here, and I can just expand this like this so that it won't be too sharp. Okay, once I'm done with that, so because I want to replicate this same color here, what I'll do is I'll type on it, then I right click on my mouse, I drag it to the next color. You see that it has changed the symbol here. So once it gets there, I leave it and come over to my copy field, so it will bring this color here to this place. So for this, I don't want it to look the same, so I tap on this and come over to my interactive field. Then for this, I can now put my orange here and put my ruby red here, so that it will just change the field. And for this also, let me just drag it here and copy field, so it should look like this once you're done, but it's not perfect yet, so I still need to do other things there. So for this, let me remove the outline. The outline is 2.36, so I'm clicking on none. Let me Ctrl G. Let me group them together so that everything will be one. So it's still sharp. It's still sharp. So I just have to add transparency to it. Let me come over to my transparency. Then let me say uniform transparency. That is 50%. Let me see how it looks like. It's too shouty. So sorry for the I don't know the word I will use. It's too shouty. So for this, let me just reduce it to like let me say 85. Okay, yeah. Seems I like something like this. Yeah. Let me just make it 8C and see. Let me make it 8C. Okay, let me just leave it this way. So the next thing I'll be doing here is I want to input my pictures. So I come over to my rectangular shape, I drag it like this. Let me just change it to white and remove the outline. So for this, I don't want the sharp edges. Let me just curve it a bit. You come over to your shape tool and you drag it this way a bit, so that it will just have a curvy edge. So for this, let me just duplicate it. By duplicating it, I press my Ctrl down while I drag, so that it will be on the same line. When I get to the point I want, I right click and I press my Ctrl D to duplicate. Since it's the same thing I'm doing, I can increase it like this. So for this also, I press my Ctrl while I drag this. When I get to the point, I right click, then Ctrl D to make it Okay, so the next thing here is let me bring in the images I'm going to use. And bring in my images, so I just mark them and drag inside. Let me just drag them in. Okay. Mind you, if you are designing, don't use images as watermark. It won't make your work look good. So try not to use images as watermark. So let me just power clip them inside, then I can adjust it from there. So power clip, let me put this here, this one, power clip it here, this one, power clip it. So you can just arrange it anyhow you want it. Clip this here. I'm having one more image. Let's see. Okay, this is it. So let me just drag it in. So I'll click this here. So now I can edit it. So I just drag this like this. Finish. For this. Okay. And finish for this. So when reducing the both sides, you just what you do is you press your shifts and drag. You press your shifts down while you drag it so that the both sides will go together. Yes, so in design, you just have to take the time to do some things so that it will give you your desired results. All these images, I just got them online. Got them from Google. So you can also search for images to use which are not watermarked, because the watermark image are actually it won't make your work look nice, and there are some that are paid for. So for me, I just download the ones that are free there, so use it for my designs and my tutorials. So but if you have the cash that you can pay, then it will be good for you to pay to get a higher quality image. Okay, so I'm through with them. So for this now, let me just group them together. Ctrl G. You press your shift and this, and press your E to center to make it straight on the page. Yes. For this, let me just drag it to this side of the page. And let me come over to the names now. We'll come over to this. Say Lizzie. case, then I change the font to monuments. Yes, I used monuments for this. And so I'm using 20% black. I don't want it to be white, so I'm using 20% black because the white was too loud. So for this, let me just duplicate it here and say fashion house. Control A, Shift F3, case. I don't want it to be all caps. So just move it like this. Okay, so for this now, let me just highlight this and change the color to orange. Okay, then I just want to do something here. Let me bring in my rectangle and change it to orange, and I remove my outline. So you can zoom this to see it well. And I tap it to see that it's bringing in this arrow edge. So what I do is I use this particular one like this. Just reduce it like this. Okay, so I just wanted it to look something like this. Lazy house, then I change this. Okay, the text is long, so let me just copy the text. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So the color I used here is the 20% black. Yes, am I right? Yes, 20% black. So for this, the fonts I'm using is Palatino Linotype. So for this now, let me just align it together. I press my L, and this also I press my shift and tap on lazy and press on L to align it to the left. I can just replace it here. And for the font, you can just type in all your details there. So for this, I typed all these ones first, these 4 words, then this also I tap these 4 words. For this, I just use my rectangle. Oh, sorry. I just use my rectangle like this, change it to orange and reduce it very well. That is how I got this particular one. Alright, so let me just push all this to the top to give me some space. And for this, let me bring it down like this. Delete this for now. Okay. Next thing is let me duplicate this. Clothes. Clothes are your beauty. Control A, Shift F3, and I say title case. Can reduce it very well. Now this one is just like a tag line here. Let me just make this orange. Let me change this to orange. Say clothes are your beauty tickets. Bring it like this. Shift, tap on the background, then press your center to make it so we are the center of the page. And the next thing is you put in your contact details. Okay, let me type it out. The next thing is your contact details. Like so. For this, let me group them, Ctrl G, so that I can align it like this to the left. I just want everything to be on the straight line, like if you see it, so that no text is coming out of the line. So for this also, I just duplicate it like this and say Becky Lizzy. So this one is the phone number to call, and this one is the Instagram page. So to get the icon, let me bring in this. If you have been following my videos for some time now, you would know how I usually do it. So let me drag in this. So this is the logo that has white background. So I just come over to my trace bitmap, outline trace, line art. You wait for some seconds. Yeah, so the background has been removed. You click on OK. You can now delete this particular one. And this one, you press your Ctrl U to ungroup them. Then bring out the particular one you want and delete the remaining ones. But because the Instagram I need is not there, so let me drag in the other one as what I need. So the same process, trace bitmap, outline trace, line art. Okay. So I delete this, Control U. I can delete this. This bringing it in. Okay. So for this now, I only need to change the background to orange. Once I'm done, I group it, Ctrl G, I reduce it like so. I place it here. This also orange, sorry. Okay. So once I'm done with this, I group it as well, Ctrl G, and I can now check it if it's the same, the size. I want it to be the same size as this. Yes, it's the same, so I can just drag it here and align it together, this and this also, align them together. Okay. Contacts. Control A, Shift F3, I took it. So for the contacts, I want to use autograph. So I choose autograph and I change it to orange. Place it here. Meanwhile, let me group this. Control G. So at this one, I can centralize it with this. And for this, let me just make it left. Okay. Then I can centralize this one to this. Alright, so now we can just start adding some things. Let me say for this now, I add my circle. Okay, so I remove the head, the outline, and place it here. When I come over to my effects, I add my blur, Gaussian blur. So for the Gaussian blur is 30.3 I used. You can also increase or reduce it. So okay, let me just leave it 30.3. Let's it's 3. So add power clip it inside. And let me just reduce the transparency. Reduce the transparency. Let me say uniform transparency. Okay. Yeah. All right. This also. Let me just make it like this, and now I'm having two circles there, so I come over to my trim. Once I trim it, I'm having this. So the circle inside has cuts out the other one, so I can just clip it inside here. Like this. So all these ones I'm just adding it just for it to make the design pop out a bit. So for this I do it like this, then I come over to my interactive fill. I add my ruby red, and I'm removing the outline. So just reduce it, just duplicate and place on some points. Just place it like this, and just keep one here. So that is it. So thanks guys, this is how I was able to create this particular design using Corel 2020. This is a web banner, and you can also do this. I will supply you with the materials and the images I use. I'm going to send it to the resource file, so you can just lay your hands on this design and create something. You can just lay your hands on this design and create something for it. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so as you won't miss out of my next tutorial, hit the like button to help me know that okay, you've seen this video and you like it. So thanks guys for watching this to the end. See you in the next video.